Greetings, fellow Legionnaires. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech. We are Legion. Episode 2. Mechanitor Klein.
I think what I'm going to do is put wood on the first shelf, because it should be next to the wood jennies. But then the rest of the shelves are just going to be sort of general storage shelves. Oops, if I could click correctly. My lord. And that's probably going to be enough shelving for now. And it looks like you guys want me to research power after drugs. Okay, there it is. So I have 140 watts spare, so I'm going to keep the this wood-fired Jenny off. Now, one thing I've noticed, and this is sort of anecdotal, but I have noticed that it seems to me, and I could be wrong, the first mech scales to like colony wealth, so doing it immediately if you have an abundance of food and other resources is pretty viable. But then it scales up and gets harder. You'll see what I mean pretty soon. Pretty soon. Simbi, thank you for the resub as well. Ooh, masterwork shelf. Nothing like wasting your masterworks on a shelf, right? Might want to get a second hunter. I'm going to put Bryze on it, just because it seems like Mass is having a hard time supplying the meat that our society demands. Because of our increased hunger rate. Actually, Mass is metabolically efficient, so that's a bad example. And there's Cypher, just drinking some tea. So I am going to make Psychite tea until I have a very finite number of, like, let's say 50. Because I don't want to overdo it, because that means I won't be able to make Go Juice. So, kind of important. And then this shelf here is going to be important for wood, because it's right next to the generators. And then the rest of the shelves here are preferred over the normal storage, but I don't have anyone as high priority haul, so they'll move it when they move it. I'm not that concerned. And I'm just mining out that corner, so if I need yet another wood-fire generator, I can do that. Now, you did vote for me to do power generation after I solve our food and drug security problems. And I think what I'm going to do is invest in toxifier generators. You know, the really toxic ones. Because why not? It's free power, baby. For real estate. We can use toxins as a weapon, perhaps. Hey, you better not be making filthy food here. Got my eye on you. But there we go. Now we have 18 meals. That feels a little bit safer. So, leader, let's have a vote. Who should our leader be? Klein? Or Bryze? Or other? I guess I'll have a write-in candidate here if you want. So, Klein has a social of 11. Right now, he's friends with everyone. Literally everyone. And he has a strong immunity and reduced pain. And then Bryze has one rival, but that can be remedied. And has the weakened immunity. Turtle, you really are a mining master. Once it's daylight, I am going to signal in the mech. Because everybody has healed. And a promise is a promise. Oh, interesting. I was not expecting the vote to go the way the vote is going, given what I had previously said. But hey, you know, it's a free vote. In fact, I have this little reminder macro, not to pressure others to vote for what you think. So I think for now, my plan is to stockpile vegetables rather than to make fine meals. So here we go. Mass. Or Diamond. Let's decrypt the transponder. Because you're our researcher. So there it is. Quest available. Mechanoid ship. You have decrypted an ancient transponder, revealing the location of a mechanoid ship in orbit. The ship is badly damaged, but you can signal it to land nearby. The ship contains the remains of a long-dead Mechanator. Mechanators can create and control mechanoids for work and combat. By extracting the deceased Mechanator's mech link, you can turn one of your own colonists into a Mechanator. Beware, it also contains hostile mechanoids. It's a Militor, which is a very basic close-range shotgunner, and a Tesseron, which is like a weak in melee laser mech. Okay. It's 10 a.m. Let's do it. Where be thy ship? Oh, could that not have been any more inconvenient? So here's the dead Mechanator with the mech link in the brain. And here's the little Militor, and here's the Tesseron. So I want to bait out the shots from the beam grazer and then close the distance fast in order to shut down the Tesseron. That would be the proper strategy. And also, it looks like Bry's are going to be the leader. Does that mean Klein is the morale officer? Yes or no? Because it could always be someone else. Oh, Turtle, you're so slow. We'll have to wait for Turtle. Living up to his name. And the feral mechs are now attacking me. Oh, good. I can use line of sight blocking to my advantage. Sneaky, sneaky. Surprise! So you're not even going to get to see the Tesseron's weapon here, because, strategy. Yeah, don't hit my turtle. That's not going to go well for you. Alright, Weaver's mech link is now available. Weaver, huh? Klein, guess what? You broke the exostrator. You get the mech link. To the victor. The other thing, I don't have machining yet, but it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to haul the mech corpses in for later. Another thing to note is mech corpses now include enemy and friendly mechs, so you got to be careful about, yeah, about that. Because you can end up shredding your own mechs, which is maybe not something you want to do. All right, we only got a little bit of bruising. So let's install and become a Mechanator. Done. And then, Klein, I'm going to let you briefly deconstruct this ship for materials. And we have a Constructoid. So a Constructoid is a little constructor bot. And I'm going to be raffling that off to one of you in just a second. Let me get the giveaway ready. And the raffle is a go. Okay. Yes, indeed, Klein is going to be a morale officer. All right, we'll have to have the elections in just a minute. Oh, who dropped their meal there? Are you hungry? No, you're not hungry. Master, are you hungry? Yeah, you're hungry. Consume it, and then haul the components. So I will explain a little bit what is going on with being a Mechanitor in just a moment. As soon as... I guess now is a good time. So, the Mechanitor has a certain amount of bandwidth, and bandwidth is sort of how many mechs can be under his control. Under his control just means exists, not draft. The Mechanitor has control groups. Control groups you can use control groups to tell your mechs to do certain things. Like, here's group 1 with the little constructoid in it. Oops, sorry about that. So group 1 with the little constructoid in it, and I can tell them to work, escort me, recharge, or dormant self-charge. So work is whatever they're able to do. A constructoid can construct. Nothing else, just build things. And they don't build things to the quality of a human. So you're probably not going to want them to build beds or chairs or recreation items, things like that. Building walls and cables and flooring, yeah, that's fine. Then you can have multiple groups. Dormant self-charge recharges them 1% per day, but it does not create pollution or waste. Recharging uses recharge stations like this one here. Oh, no. Hold on. Like this one here, Mech Recharger, but it creates waste packs, which then in turn creates pollution. And then this button here can tell them when to recharge, like at 5% to 100%. And then also the mech itself, if we go over to the mech, we can click auto repair. So what ends up happening is if the mech is damaged but still not completely destroyed, when you repair the Mechanitor comes, repairs the mech, and it draws the energy down so that you're using mech energy to basically fix it. You can also draft these mechs, and one of the things that you're going to notice when I draft it is if I draft it, I can only directly control it if it's near the Mechanitor. So if I draft, you can see a bubble around Klein. This is the only spot that I can command it to go. Outside of this bubble, it can be drafted, but I'm not doing anything with it. I can't give it commands. I can't zone it or anything like that. So, yeah, I have to keep that in mind as well, is if you're going to have war mechs and you're going to draft the war mechs and tell them what to do, it definitely helps for your Mechanitor to get close to the action, because otherwise they're going to be functionally too far to directly control their mechs. And then you can have two different groups. Generally, it's like a construction group and a battle group, but you can set it up any way you want. And then also, once you have a comms console, you can summon in bigger threats. So the first threat would be the Diabolus, and then the Warcreen, and then the Apocryton. I don't exactly know how it's pronounced. And each additional threat unlocks the next tech level of mech. So the Diabolus mech gives you the signal chip, the Warcreen gives you the Psyfocus chip, and the Ultra Tech, the Apocryton gives you the Nano Construction chip. So that unlocks these mech levels, but also the signal chip is used to make things like the Mech Commander helmet and the bandwidth. No, not the bandwidth pack, but other buildings. So there's a reason to signal in multiple Diaboluses or multiple Warcreens, because the chip itself can be used to manufacture, not just for research. So it's not exactly like a tech print. There's also this here, a waste pack, which is a nano chip, and the waste pack atomizer destroys waste with electricity. Do any chips expand control range? Yeah, there are ways to expand. There's a whole lot of tech that we'll get into. I don't want to do the full breakdown because that would be like a tutorial and it would take me a long time. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to sort of improve the bandwidth and improve control groups and expansion and stuff like that. Okay, that's the giveaway for the little constructor bot. It's going to tannering. Congrats. Where? I don't know where it is. Here it is. Gonna be like, I don't know where it is. Gender none. Little tannering bot. So this construction bot is just going to repair and construct for us automatically, which is kind of nice. Gonna make a proper barrel for the Mechanitor? Nah. He ain't one of us. He gets to rot. While everyone asleep at once. That's a rare occurrence. So the farm fields are sown. You guys want me to work on power and drug supply. I do have drug production, so let's get a drug lab. Put that here next to the research bench. There is indeed a overhead mountain here. So it's an infestation risk. I'll fill it in once the steel gets hauled. But here you can see tannering removing the roof where the roof needed to be removed. Very nice to have a little constructo bot. Sometimes. Now, they're not very fast at working, but they default at level 10 for skill. Work skill 10, work activities construction. But their speed here is pretty slow, as you can see. So they won't fail, because fail is a level 8 activity. But also, they're not going to be making glorious quality either. So, got to keep that in mind. Looks like I need more meat. Meat. You wandered into the wrong territory, friend. And there we go. We got our drug lab. And then it's warning me that I needed mech rechargers. I don't have mech recharging research. For now, I don't really have a need for a construction bot because I don't have a large construction project. So I'm going to tell it to dormantly recharge. I can draft it and move it around if I need to, as long as I'm near Klein. But dormant recharge just puts it to rest, and it recharges, like I said, 1% per day automatically. All right, Klein, I think I would very much like you to also start researching. So I'm going to get another research bench going so that he can help. I think he's int. Having 2 research better than 1. Yeah, the DLC is amazing. I'm with you there. Another thing that I could probably do, although I don't have a crafting room yet, is to get an electric tiller. Because it's going to get cold, and especially Bryce, but other people are going to probably want better clothing. But Bryce, because he's Impid, he gets cold, extra cold. Because he's sort of a desert wanderer by default. Hippie, thanks for the resub. So I don't have psychic refining yet, but I'm researching it. And then once I get Go Juice production, I will pivot and get toxifier generators as the power research that you all voted on, and batteries. Match that with batteries. But toxifiers, they pollute your atmosphere, but they generate a very stable amount of power, very dependable amount of power. So batteries aren't exactly necessary for toxifiers unless you want to buffer it. So like having enough power for your toxifier generators, where you have a little bit of excess to put into batteries for when you have when you have to turn on your turrets or something like that, it can be pretty useful. Does Dormant Charge make waste packs? It does not. No. So that's the way to avoid waste packing. You can have ecological robots, but they're going to be asleep for 100 days when they're out of charge. So it's very slow. Now, there's a lot of ways to deal with waste. You don't necessarily have to just pollute your own map tile. You can use them, you can weaponize them, or you can atomize them. You can donate them to friends. So given the variety of options, you're not so much stuck. All right, Klein, it's time to research. Done. And then the tailor here, I'm going to do 5 toques. Actually, tail caps, because I don't really have any cloth. And we don't have any precious leathers like Thrumble fur, so I don't really care what they make it out of. And that's going to be a diamond task once he's up. Weaponizing waste? Yeah, there's actually a lot of ways to weaponize waste. There's toxic gas weapons, grenades, packs, which is like a smoke pot belt, but full of toxins, shelling, and incinerator launching, but tox. So you really can use toxic weapons to your benefit. And if the bot runs out of charge, it goes dormant. So there's not really a worry of it like breaking down. It just goes to sleep. Should you be tailoring 10 and 14? I'll let you tailor the first one, but not afterwards. Breaking Wolf, thank you for the resub. Can you carry a dormant bot? No. You cannot, like, pick it up and carry it. Oh, let's go ahead and drop these tail caps on the floor. Speed it up a little. But Bryce is already wearing one. He looks like a regular Devil Daniel Boone. Good luck. Alright, so let's have you vote on the priority again. Because I've already kind of got drugs underway. So I'm going to make Yayo until I have, let's say, 50? So 50 tea, 50 Yayo, and then I'll be turning the Yayo into Go Juice once I have Go Juice research. Alright, tail caps are done. And I could also do something like dusters as well. I'll make some dusters. Or bandoliers. So bandoliers is a new piece of clothing that allows you to shoot faster, but it takes the outer layer, which means you can't wear like dusters or capes with it. Bandoliers are really good for speed shooting, but not so much for protection. Bandoliers would mix pretty well if you had a lot of flak vests, high quality flak vests. That way the flak vest is at least keeping you protected. Or for tough people. People that don't take a lot of damage can risk a bandolier over armor. But it's an outer layer item. And there's not a lot of middle and skin layer clothing that protects you all that well. You are mining like a beast. I'm gonna run out of things to mine. And then soon I'll fill in the overhead mountain tiles when I get around to it. So I think for Bryce at least, I'm gonna do a duster. Oh, we have a power feedback. Maybe Bryce and Diamond I'll do dusters. And then Mass and Cypher I can do bandoliers. just make tannering fill in the mountains? I could. Yeah, I could power them on. I think it's probably better to leave them idle for now because I don't have a way to recharge them. But here you can see can repair and fill in block walls, albeit slowly. Very, very slow. Why are we putting meat? Oh, yeah, okay, that's my fault. Let me fix that. So this stockpile here is going to be for foods that are not packed survival meals. And I'll eventually put shelves in here instead. Kibble or fertilized eggs, insect jelly. And then also wort or plant matter. All plant matter can go in here as well. And then wort. And take off pack of survival meals. Oh no, I did that. But keep pemmican in. There we go. Here, I'll do a little bit of high priority hauling just so that I can correct that so we don't lose meat. And I'll make this preferred. Actually important. That way we'll actually haul it. There we go. Now it's frozen. And I'll just plop some storage shelves here. Actually, I'm not going to lay them out that way. That's not as convenient. Planning for the future here, so I will use the very small shelves in this case. The 1x1s now. Glorious! A proper pantry has emerged. Defenses and security. Got it. So in terms of defenses and security, I would love to be able to make use of this deep water. I think that would be a really powerful tool, especially against manhunters. So I'm trying to think of the... Let me see. I build here like that. That will work. It's one of these things like I'm likely going to want a moisture pump eventually for protection. And then this comes across like that somehow. So in this spot here, we can shoot out to base. We have almost perfect visibility around this area here, unobscured, allowing us to murder manhunters, no problem. And then I'll just put a little, complete the wall over here. And that will enclose us, which is good for security. The other thing, obviously we're going to want doors. So I'll stick a door, I'll stick a few doors, some redundancy. And those are wood ones. So on the outside, I'm going to have forced open granite ones that we can slam shut in the case of an emergency. Going to not allow a roof over them so we can pass through them without being in the dark. And then concreting up around it so that trees can't grow and block the doors. Now, the only issue with this is this doesn't offer a nice shooter break, so then I'm going to put a intruder visibility blocking wall here. So let me continue the steel pathing. So that way, if intruders are coming in, I might rework this. If intruders are coming in, I can't, never mind. They can't stand here and shoot on us. It allows us to brawl them a little bit easier. And I'll just have the intruder blocker a little smaller on the east one. Maybe yet another door. Let's do terrain affordance. Maybe yet another door over in this spot. But it's hard to terrain support it, so I'm going to actually back this up one, like that. Nope, that's not right. Something like that. Same sort of concept, but just yet another door. But this juts out and blocks line of sight, so maybe I won't do it like that. I'll leave it undoored. Okay. Current priority is improve power, make drugs, and build defenses. Right on. Hey, buddy. What biomes are nearby? Tropical jungle. Rainforest, rather. And that's just about it. There's a little bit of pollution, but it's not very polluted in terms of the world. So we don't have to worry about that so much. So this is going to be for meat storage, this U of shelves, and then this one will be for veggie, and then I'll have one for other. I'll also store the corpses on shelves as well. Why not just have that section keep going east, avoids the lake, and supports? You mean here, like this? Or like this? You probably mean like this. Yeah, I could do that. I have just a flat section. Both. This is version 1. I'm sure I'll make improvements. Alright, don't allow roofs. Oops. And put in the concrete. I purposely want to utilize this lake for manhunter visibility, but for everything else, we can ignore it. All right, ambush night is of the Sophian Empire. Oh, that reminds me. I need to disable some of these. Here we go. No, I'm not helping your knight. I hate you. Hope you die. Glad you got ambushed. So what kind of charge does tannering have now? 39%, losing 10% per day. Pretty soon here we'll have the have some additional research options like tech mech stuff. Mech tech, rather, not tech mech. That would be like Texican Mexican food. Texican. Gonna go with Texican. Looks like we're hauling some of the steel in, because I don't think Turtle really has a lot of other work. But the defense is looking pretty good. Now, there is a blind spot due to these walls here for manhunters, but it's such a small blind spot, I'm not that worried about it. Also, I think we ran out of marble, I'm assuming. So, I didn't forbid it. We'll get around to getting again. But it looks like I'm going to need to get more granite blocks. Which means, Klein, you're going to be cutting. And then also, Mass, I'm going to have you do that as well when you're not hunting. So that we get more stone. Having a jogger like yourself is a perfect person to be doing the stone cutting, because you're quick. So this is all overhead mountain as well. So there's a lot of fill-ins that we need to do. For Turtle, I can have him haul chunks, but like the only issue with that is he is very, very slow. So I think it's actually better and faster if he just mines away the mountain, because he'll get chunks and not have to haul it very far. Because he mines at the speed of lightning, but he runs at the speed of tar. You go, dude. All yours. So goat juice production is almost done. I do have a question for you all, and I also didn't do the elections yet. Forgot. Does that ever happen to you? Because it surely happened to me. Yeah, we're hitting overhead mountain pretty quick. So the question is, should I use the melee exploit to evaluate the mountain? So the melee exploit that I'm referring to is the one that allows you to kind of X-ray into a mountain, seeing if there's any holes in the mountain. The reason I ask this is if I'm using toxifier generators and there's a hole in this mountain, it would be really convenient to just nest the toxifier generators deep into the hole. The issue with that, of course, is if we're making it polluted in that area and there's infestations, mega spiders get stronger around pollution. So it's an imperfect solution. But for our super soldiers, or soon-to-be super soldiers, maybe it's not so much an issue. I'm going to stop auto home zoning because it adds an extraordinary amount of extra where we don't need it. In fact, I don't really even need a home zone the concrete pathing. It's only there to act as a blocker for trees to grow. There we go. So that, oh, no, missed. There we go. Is there a way to destroy pollution? Yes. It's deep into the tech tree, but yes. Not something we're going to have anytime soon. Just to make that clear. And it's also very power hungry, the process, and very time consuming. So you can't just... It doesn't work fast. I probably have enough granite to finish off this project, so I'm going to switch from granite to marble now. But the toxic waste packs won't decay and turn to pollution if you freeze them, correct? So if you don't have the technology to deal with them, you can just freeze them in a freezer and hope that you don't get long and prolonged solar flares. But freeze them in a freezer and deal with them later. You can caravan them to other map tiles. You can transport pod them to people you hate. There's a lot of different ways that you can deal with toxic waste packs. You can transport pod them to distant tiles. Maybe it won't even piss people off. If you fling them at distant tiles, and those distant tiles have people living nearby, they do get pissed. And then also, it's about 0.5 pollution per toxic waste pack or something like that, I think. Like a stack. No, it's less than that. It's like 0.05. So like a stack of 50 toxic waste packs will add like 2.5% pollution. So you are down to 27%. Copy that. But we almost have a perimeter wall, which will be impervious to manhunters, which is really nice. So we get big old manhunters. Ah, someone from the Sanctus tribe is coming by. Hello. 2 baseliners. And then with this design, the wooden door, which opens quickly, is also not susceptible to fire very easily because there's natural fire breaks around it, which is kind of nice. There we go. There's our nice little fishing dock to shoot at things. Oh, and lots of marble, so we'll be able to get the shelving up. And a slaver from Sanctus tribe. Okay. They have some Edikine, it looks like. They're the ones with the tails. I don't know, we'll see what they have for sale. I don't really have any silver on me, so I doubt I'll be able to afford to purchase anyone, but yeah, we can always liberate. We won't have slaves, but I'm not against buying them just to liberate them. Alright, so you guys do want me to use the melee exploit to evaluate the mountain. So I'll show you what that looks like. If I draft Turtle here, I can have him scroll around this mountain, and then if you see a little X symbol like that, it means it's hollow. So here is a rather large hollow section. Oh, wow. Really, really large hollow section here. This whole thing is empty. I'll just do some brief scans. Looks like... Oh, there's a hollow section here as well. Seems small, I guess. No, it's big. Now, this might be an ancient danger. It feels symmetrical. It feels like it feels like an H or something, which the symmetry makes me think it's an ancient danger. But yeah, that's how the trick works, if you're wondering. Oh, here's another one. This one's much smaller, so it's just it's a little something. I don't know what it is. And then to fill this in, some big section here. So this is essentially, if I defog the map, where I would expect to see stuff, and I'll just finish the scan. No, there's nothing here. Oh, I thought something went X. Yep, there's something hollow here. Small, maybe. No, not that small. Okay. And something there as well. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, it's an exploit. I don't usually use it, but I figured I'd ask, and you guys overwhelmingly said, it's fine. And then as far as... So, like, one obvious one is here. Like, we can see that that's hollow, right? So, you know, obviously, I didn't need to X-ray for it. This ridge looks solid. That looks solid. This looks solid. This is solid. Solid. Okay, I'm done x-raying, and I kind of crudely plotted where I found some stuff. So that's how that works if you ever need to do that. It's really helpful planning out an underground community. If you don't want to accidentally bump into caves or something like that, you can avoid them with the magic might of melee drowsing rod. That's how I'll describe that. The magic might of melee drowsing rods. It's a molekin thing, yeah, exactly. Our little dirt moles. Really, really good at that. You guys have something to trade, and I need to do the leader goals, so let's go ahead and do that. We were going to have Bryce be the leader, and I guess once he's back, because right now he's deployed, I'll have him lead, and then Klein will be the morale officer. So just a few more wooden walls, and we'll be nice and secured. It's interesting that we're fighting genocide while also self-sterilizing. We are willing to make sacrifices that others are not. We're self-sterilizing because having to deal with children and babies in a war really dramatically lowers our ability to fight said war. So that's why we're doing that. But also in a lot of lore, in a lot of video games and books, the soldier class generally doesn't have children. Thank you for tuning in to We Are Legion, which originally streamed live on Twitch, October 23rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. I'll catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Legionnaire,